Let's go.
Here we go. It's a Sunday. It's a very special Sunday. What's up? It's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. I love it when we have guests on the show all the time, Mr. Young. It's been a minute, right?
Absolutely. And today we've doubled it up. Not only do we have one guest, we have two guests in the house as we gear up for a very exciting time, actually, in local wrestling, Singapore pro wrestling. You know, the scene is just heating up with so many different promotions all putting on, and especially during the year end, right? It's like everyone wants to go out with a bang. Am I right?
Yeah, man. I mean, especially November period. I think this is like our WrestleMania season for the local wrestling scene. You know, it's not just SPW, Grapplemax, Ring of Rebirth. Even today, Ring of Rebirth had a show. So, like, you know, I think everyone's just gearing up to like culminate all their storylines. So I think it's only right that we have some of our creative minds in the local wrestling scene to join us. You know, to help give some context of what they're gonna be doing, and also reflect on almost a decade on the scene, right, Mr. Young?
It's crazy to think 9 years. That's the anniversary that they're celebrating, right? 9 years. Without further ado, joining us here on the podcast today from Grapplemax, we have Endboss Gregory. Woo! And the Cryptobro LK. Those efforts still around now.
Hey.
Foreign said that, by the way. That's his line, not my line.
I thought we were gonna start things on a good note. It's nice to see you guys. It's been a minute. I'm very happy to see Greg, and Crypto Bro just told us that it's been almost 5 years since before COVID that he was last on the show. What happened there, bro?
It's at least 5 years.
Yeah, I think our guy has been going around the world doing his crypto thing, basically, earning the big bucks, flying in jets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think you're in for a treat because we were just saying before we go in live, right? We never really had two of us on a podcast before until now. So this is really a scoop for you guys.
Yes, I expect all kinds of chaos. In fact, Foreign got his Red Bull, so we are in for a crazy show. Everybody in chat, say hi, by the way. Let us know that you're here. Good to see you, Alfred, Zayden as well.
Yeah, man, guys, I got my CM Punk shirt. I got not just one Red Bull, I got two Red Bulls just as a backup. So we got everything lined up for you guys, so I think we are ready.
Might be a crazy show. Zayden, don't start. Zayden say scam lol. Alamak, what is up with that? We're starting already. But okay, first of all, guys, thank you so much for taking time out, precious time from your Sunday afternoon to join us here today.
Evening, Mr. Young.
Oh, wait, what did I say? Did I say morning?
Afternoon.
Oh, after what? Yeah, you know.
Young, you're already on Red Bulls,
I think I might need a Red Bull, you know.
I think so.
That aside, though, I think we got Ban in the house. Is that Ban?
Ban
Touch.
We got Nathaniel.
Yes.
All right, your whole gang is pulling up for today. Okay, it's gonna be fun.
As we gear up, of course, for Grapplemax's Unity, which happens this upcoming Saturday, so the very next Saturday that's happening on the calendar, 22nd of November, at a very interesting venue. I know a lot has been said about it, but it is happening at the Fu Chao building. Is that a good place to start this conversation?
Yeah, Greg, come on, tell us what's up, Dad.
Are you asking me if it's a good place to start?
Yeah.
Or are you guys just gonna go for it?
No, I'm throwing it at you right now.
Sure. Yeah, so I think Fu Chao again, in the end, we can talk about, celebrating anniversaries, right? You kind of want to go big, right? And we knew that, again, going back to how we started, the goal was always to run shows like in this studio, right? That was the initial goal in 2023. And then we realized over time that there's more and more demand for us to take this outside, right? So going from here to places like Timber Plus, Projector, subsequently the various CC shows accumulating in WrestlePaga just last month, right? And we knew that we needed some type of commercial venue that could host like these increasing crowds that wanted to see us in bigger spaces.
Yes.
We thought it was fair to our fans and also fair to our wrestlers, our crew, to find a space that was suitable for them to sort of show what they've been working on for the last 9 years. When it really comes down to it, I mean, Fu Chao is a space, right? And it's a space where we spoke to them. They said, yeah, we're super open to having you guys here. We already host boxing, wrestling, concerts, and like we're happy to host like one more thing here. And so we thought, without thinking too much about it, like it made a lot of sense because it's got the space. They're obviously open to pro wrestling. And after we spoke to the team, we felt, yeah, it kind of makes sense to do it there, right? And people are going to talk, but like in the end, it really is a business call and really something to give back to our community as well.
I love it how you just very bluntly put, yes, they, are very open to wrestling because, I mean, the elephant in the room, SPW holds their show there like quite frequently, right? So, okay, when this idea or the...
Is it? Oh, shit.
Well, shock, horror, what? Really? So when the thought of it came about, did it occur to you that, people are gonna start, tongue wagging a little bit? I mean, we immediately were like, wait, what? When we saw the logo...
Let me set some context, okay? Because
Okay.
I think I have the best seat in the house where this announcement was made.
Yes.
I still remember. I think it was Slam and Saver. We were, I was really end of the show, right? We were vibing, and then you're gonna make this big announcement. I was standing beside a bunch of SPW wrestlers. Chief among there, I think Ref Ryan was beside me, BGJ was beside me, and they were like, okay, so the anniversary show will be held at Fucha building. Immediately my next step to both of them, they look at me, they look at the screen, then they both whipped out their phone. So I won't be remiss to ask, when you guys made this decision, did anybody give a heads up to SPW? Just asking.
No.
Oh.
But again, it's just a business decision. It's a venue, right? At the end of the day, it's like the Singapore Indoor Stadium. Taylor Swift not gonna get upset at Blackpink for doing the concert there, right?
Right.
So who is Blackpink here? Who is Taylor Swift?
I mean, very different
Not
artists for a
gonna-
different crowd.
not gonna wade into that discussion right
Okay,
now.
fair
Crypto
enough.
Bro LK, were you there when this decision was made, and you know what was going through your mind?
It's just a place, right? I mean, like what we were saying, like you do your wrestling here, you do your wrestling there. It's not like a thing that we say, okay, let's choose this place because it's gonna cause maximum pain to somebody. No, nobody made the decision that way.
Okay, maybe I can pivot and ask this question. Say, will this be easily the biggest house that you guys will be drawing? Like, or is this the biggest crowd the Grapplemax as a standalone show will be performing in front of?
For a paying crowd, I would say yes, it ranks up there with one of the biggest. I mean, like Night Festival, those are 1,000 plus crowds, right? But it's
Yep.
food, So
Yeah.
for a paid show capacity of like 300 plus, yeah, I would say that's one of our biggest.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think on that point, what I'll say is that Wrestle Paga we drew about 300 as well. But I think
Nice.
based on the speed of what we've seen the tickets move for Unity, this is easily our fastest selling, biggest gate we've ever run in terms of the shows that we've done, right? And again, in terms of talking about the whole venue discussion, right? The fact is this year alone, we have done 15 shows in 7 different venues, right?
Yes.
We've done Timber, Projector, 2 different CCs. So for us, again, it's not really a case of, wow, let's go and like move to Fuchao and do something there. It's just, okay, look, we kind of want pro wrestling, Grapplemax style to be in as many places as possible. And Fuchao is quite simply just one of them.
And I said it to you in person, and I've said this on the podcast as well. I think that's just great what you guys are doing because, it's great that you have a venue everybody goes to celebrate pro wrestling. But at the same time, we need to be growing the scene, right? We need to be getting the word out there to all these different pockets of Singapore who, to be honest, to this day, might not even realize there is wrestling. Then you suddenly see one Mothership article, you see one Straits Times article. We forget sometimes, Foreign, that we are very in our own little universe here. This is the pro wrestling universe because we talk about it, we love this thing, right? But
That's
to
true.
to see like the hunkles going in the ring, I mean, LK might be a bit sore from that from that experience.
His butt a bit sore.
Oh no! Oh no! I want to ask that as well. Like, how do you guys feel about like the recent, like I would say, mainstream exposure that you guys received through that whole angle you guys did at WrestlePaga?
Dennis, you want to go for it? Since you were the star of it.
Yeah. So, funny enough, my career this year has become this guy that, antagonize somebody and then get beaten up, right? We've seen that with the Pink Fest. We've seen that now with the Hunkles. So it's just an evolution of the character, what my role in the roster is. But anyway, this whole thing with the CCs has been something that Greg has been working real hard towards, starting from the first pro wrestling festival that was last year. These are opportunities that our community brings to us, and it's one of our boys, Devon, who helped us get this. So
Nice.
you can see, like, from when he was still at NWE, like he was helping to promote that way already. So that is the story of how it began, and then one thing leads to another, and when the dominoes start falling, the smaller ones start tipping the slightly bigger ones, and start tipping the even bigger ones. and that's when you get momentum. So that's exactly what's happening.
Love it, love it. And also the amazing thing is you guys talk about like, selling out a big venue right now with all the multiple shows you guys did this year. How do you guys feel 9 years into this venture, right? Not only the momentum has been growing, I think this is actually the biggest grossing year you guys had. How do you guys feel about like your long-term plan and seeing it come to fruition to the next step?
Yeah, it's changed a lot, right? I think this year you're right to say that it's our largest grossing year. Costs are also going up, so it's not like we're suddenly making like tons more money, right? But I think you're right. We're seeing demand go up across the board. We're seeing audiences change as well. Where previously it was hardcore fans, friends and family. Now you're seeing people who are like from the entertainment scene coming down, right? The CEO of Timber Plus is like such a huge fan now of what we're doing after Slam and Saver.
Nice.
So we're seeing all these changes happen. I think the CC thing is going to be a movement upon itself. We are seeing a lot of queries start to come in from the
Love it.
CC side to sort of
Nice.
expand this. So we really see ourselves taking this into sort of like, how we joked about this like nationwide CC tour when
Yes.
we spoke probably a few months ago.
Yes, we did.
We seem to have manifested that. And I think the Hunkles segment especially has sort of given a lot of people this imagination where, wow, pro wrestling really can do this kind of thing. Right? There's really no limits to what you can do now. And you're going to see that when we talk about things like the Thunderwear match at Unity as well, where all these sort of came up from, hey, can we talk about this? Can we talk about that? Can we put this into pro wrestling? And this has always been the goal, which is how do we make wrestling more accessible to people who perhaps previously didn't even care about pro wrestling.
I am glad you brought that Thunderwear match up. That was literally the first thing I brought up with Greg when he jumped on the call. Yes, we will get to that in just a little while. I watched the promo video. I literally LOL'd, okay? So looking at these 9 years, did you think that you would be at this point? Because I'm sure there were years where you're like, yeah, okay, it's time to give up already. This pipe dream, right? Like, I'm sure at some point. So 9 years later, I'm sure you're glad that you stuck with it, but was there ever any situation where you're like, oh, things are getting dicey?
How about every other year?
How about 2 months ago?
Oh no!
Even with all that was happening
It's just
this
business,
year,
right?
yeah.
Tell us about
It's
it.
business. It's always a fight for survival. The saying, the rent is always due, right? Like this is a clear-cut case of that happening. Like what Greg was saying, costs are going up. If you see the way the Singapore business scene is going, F&B dropping like flies. Entertainment, cinemas. Human consumption habits are just changing, and that's being reflected all across the board.
I mean, look at how hard Greg is working. He's still in the office on a Sunday night. We're crying out loud. Bro is burning the midnight oil.
Oh no. Can I also ask as well, because you brought up about like all these establishments falling to the wayside, and we have a sentimental value because we talk about the projector. You literally guys just did pro wrestling cinema this year, and then the news that they kind of closed down. How did that affect you guys in terms of like reflecting on your own fight for survival with Grapplemax as a business?
I mean, it's very sobering, right? Because the fact is, we looked up to brands like the Projector, right? These were brands which we thought were always leading the charge for indie entertainment. And I think to see such establishments go down really reminds us that in the end, it's very real, right? We have to pay rent, and even now where it's so volunteer-led, but the goal was always how can we start to reimburse the people who are working for us?
Yeah.
So I think it goes back to why, again, every 2 months I have this meltdown where, hey guys, we're so screwed, we're gonna die next month, right? And it's enough for me all the time, because it's true, right? Because we look at the numbers and it's like, wow, there are so many paths where if you make the wrong decision or you read the market wrong, then you're messed up, right? Like the cost for this upcoming show is ridiculous. I don't know how people do it. It's such a ridiculous cost linked to run a show of this scale. So it's really a case of how do we try to make very careful decisions, because in the end we are running this as like a startup, as like a real company, and when you do that you really have to be very prudent. And I think all these closures and the news just really reminds us that there are real stakes here, and the people who work with us really see this as home, and we kind of owe it to them to not screw this up.
When you talk about decisions as well, and I think that along the way, obviously the philosophy of booking and storytelling has changed, right? Like, what is it about this year? Because I feel like this year we've seen more engaging, I suppose, long-term storytelling was there at any point sort of a change in direction or an idea that was like, okay, let's just go this way, or how does that process work out?
Okay, maybe I'll take that as creative with Dave lah. So this one, I think we kind of allow ourselves to actually let loose. I think if you've spoken to Dennis and I over the last few years, we're always very focused on long-term storytelling. But I think what happens when you do that is that you kind of get locked into this has to be the story. This has to be where we want the stories to go for the next 6 months. And you saw that with things like Dave versus Hotshot at 7th anniversary when Hotshot won the title, which was a mistake on hindsight, but that's a separate story. From a kayfabe angle, that should not have happened. But the point here is that what we realized was that if we're so stuck to it, it's very hard for us to move and see where like the conversation is moving. And with all the shows we're doing now, what is more fun is we allow ourselves to, okay, hey, what really worked last show? And we work very closely with the talent to make sure that we hear the ideas. One example is like Ships Ahoy, right? And a lot of what they're working on now is very much coming from working very closely with them to see, hey, we want to try and do this angle, do that angle. And I think this is what allows the team to also breathe a bit more, where previously it was really just myself and Dave and Ramus just like cracking our heads about this. It became, okay, actually we have 25 ideas flying at us now, and everyone gets so much more engaged. And I think that allows us to then do 2 different tracks where we have things like long-term storytelling, and we also do things like a Thunderwear match or like a denormous drag queen versus Dennis.
Yeah.
Match.
I love it as well. Question as well about creative bets, right? Maybe I can pose this question to both of you guys. In this year alone, can you guys share like maybe one creative bet that you guys made that you guys were surprised that actually worked, and also one that you guys did and like, okay, I'm gonna learn from that maybe didn't go the way we wanted.
Dennis, you want it?
I think the one that worked, it was a huge risk, and that was the part where Fight Club 5, Absolute Cinema, when we meshed almost every match with a cinematic cutscene.
Yes.
It could have backfired, right? I mean, like, people could have said, what the hell is going on? What am I watching? But the crowd bought into it. The audience bought into it. It's one of the most genius ideas, and that came from Greg and the creative team.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, also the fact that the crowd was willing to invest in that 2-3 minutes that the action went on screen, as opposed to like, oh, what's going on, and like, don't know, sitting on their hands. So they were really, I was there, so I definitely know that people were engaged. Yeah. What about like things that you guys like might not have, worked out in the way you guys wanted?
Well, I guess there's no specific one specific example, but I think you will notice that there are some guys perhaps who may have dropped off creatively in the last couple of months, right? And I think it's a few things due to things like, in the end, you're still talking about people who are volunteers doing this job, right?
Yeah.
And plans change, family plans come up, people miss shows. And very often certain angles which you thought would be how you want to close the show don't really work out. And so this is where you kind of say, okay, so sorry, but because of these things, maybe you'll take a back seat, and like we'll sort of heat you up again for the next one. So I think this is where we're always trying to avoid this, but I think the nature of us getting bigger and doing more and more shows makes it harder to sort of avoid this happening, as much as it does.
And not to bring up a sore spot again for LK, but yes, several people in chat have been mentioning they want the hunkles. Bring the hunkles back. I find it amazing, right? Because like, let's say you go to some other CC, you could literally have collaborations with all sorts of different associations. Like you have the aunties who do Tai Chi, you have the kids who play the pickleball. I mean, anything could happen, right? Moving forward.
I definitely want to book a pickleball player versus HDB dweller.
Oh my god. Oh no, there's still a lot of topics right there, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But okay, leading up to now, Unity, which is happening this upcoming Saturday. Are tickets still available? Can people go and buy their tickets if they haven't already?
Yes. So
better hurry.
Selling
hurry.
fast. So I think we're about 75% sold out now, if I recall correctly. So it's going really fast. Like I said, this is easily our fastest selling show ever. So thanks to all the fans and our followers for the support. And really, I think do get your tickets very soon.
Grapplemax.sg/Unity2025. There you go. Okay, come. Let's dive into this card. Some very exciting matches indeed. Some very unique matches as well. Also, you guys will be having a pre-show which will feature some of the NWE talent, right? And unfortunately, I haven't gotten to see these two in action yet. But the first, I don't know what the match card will be lah. But I'm going to assume just from this page here, Nish versus Titus.
Yep. Dennis, you want to run through that?
This match is a rematch. It has already happened at WrestlePaga. I would know because I was a ref before I got spanked. I was the ref. Nish and Titus have been with us for years. Nish, he joined us back in our Juchet era. Actually.
Oh wow, it's a long term.
Very briefly, and then life happened, got in the way. But then now he's back with us again. Titus has been with us for like coming at 3 years. So yeah, they've been training real hard, and now they're getting the spot in the pre-show, and hopefully before long they're on the main card.
Nice. Can you guys share a bit more about like their styles of wrestling, or what are they more preferred to in terms of their own personal styles?
In terms of styles, I think looking at a wrestler's finish will help you fill in a lot of the blanks. Nish does a Cody Rhodes finish. Titus has got
Crossroads?
Titus has got a very nice fisherman perfect legs.
Oh, okay.
So they are in that discovery mode of what they were trying to be. So once they get nailed out their moveset, their character work, and all that, but you can tell based on what they're choosing, what kind of stuff they watch.
Very nice. Because I really like how NW is like kind of cultivating and giving a bit of the pressure off of the wrestlers. Like, so we kind of already set our expectation. Okay, this is an NWE match. Okay, we're gonna step back, see what they can do, but then like we don't really hold them to such that high standard. But even though that's not usually the case, but they actually over deliver, in the case of like Devon and Nathaniel. So quite curious to see how Nish and Titus do, given more of this spotlight, such a big spotlight right here.
Agreed. All right, the next pre-show match is Radiant Ray versus Sarah Coldheart. Interestingly, Sarah, we've all seen and witnessed her issues with Christian, Ships Ahoy, what is going on there, and then now they're not in even a match together. Talk to us about this match. I mean, the two ladies, of course, we've known them for a very long time. Stalwarts in Grapplemax. Talk to us about this match.
Yeah, so these two, I think. Sorry, you go first, Dennis? Go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to chime in here because I've actually got 4 matches with Ming Ray this year.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And out of those 4 matches, I lost 3.
Oh.
So Sarah better watch out.
Wow. Okay. Great. And before Greg, you chime in as well.
Sure.
Can I also just say like the growth both wrestlers have had, from the first time I've seen them to Radiant Ray now having a very distinct character, and like, I mean, come on, nothing else to be said about Sarah. Like, she has just blossomed into this like super flamboyant. I think she even have her own fan club. So,
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you guys
buy their merch?
Are you the president of the fan club, Foreign? You better be.
She's definitely peddling on my DMs. That's all. Yeah.
I think they sold out. I think they sold very fast.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
So talk to me as like a booker and also as like a trainer to see their growth and about this match itself.
Yeah, I think you're right to say that they've really changed a lot. I think Radiant Ray, when she started, was obviously a bit more shy, a bit more reserved. But we always saw a bit of that, a bit of like a Japanese style, like pro wrest kind of aggression to her that she's very keen to let out. Sarah, as we all know, has a ton of potential, and she sort of moved very heavily into a very character-driven wrestler, which I think Chris has helped very much to pull out of that as well. Something I heard from the fans is that they really, really love what Radiant Ray is doing. They love her look, they love her colors, like the families and kids really love her. I think it's so like never say die attitude about what she brings to the table, and I think momentum she scored against Dennis has helped a lot as well. And I think, so on to the match, I think what is quite fun now is that, these two have faced off multiple times, but the way that they have both progressed is the right time to then show that off on a stage, like here at Unity. So Radiant Ray, tons of momentum behind her. Sarah has something to prove because, as you've mentioned, she is currently kind of like, I wouldn't say she's feuding, but she and Chris are having a bit of a
Yeah.
a tiff going on, I guess. And I think Chris is sort of saying, "Hey, like I'm not really sure you're a big part of the team. Like, you're not really pulling your weight. I'm not even going to be at ringside with you for the match, you know." So I guess Sarah's got a point to prove that she can hold her own against her longtime rival in Radiant Ray. She wins. Maybe she proves to Chris something. She loses. How does Chris then feel about that? So this pre-show match has got a ton of stakes to it as well.
Love it.
Going back to
as a
what you
coach-
said as well. Sorry, go ahead.
As a coach, what I will also add is that both of these wrestlers have worked really hard to go get their own overseas experiences. Megan Ray went to Japan for a couple of weeks to go train.
Nice.
Sarah has been performing Malaysia. So, like they started here and now they're starting to spread their wings and try other places around the world.
Nice.
That's
Can,
nice.
can I also ask, how does that work? Like, I mean, of course, you guys also have the connections, but how if, like, for example, a wrestler is in your roster, comes to you and say, hey, I want to, like, get a bit more experience. Like, is it really more on them finding it and then, like, you guys helping to make it work, or, like, you guys are actively kind of scouting for them, the partnerships?
Dennis, you want to do it?
Oh, no, go ahead, Greg.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Honestly, it really depends. With say Kelvin Lang's case, right? He went to go and seek out ICW and to go and train in Scotland. Conversely, those who come to us who ask for help will say, yeah, we've got these connections, and obviously, if you can make the trip out there, we'll do our best to have you talk to the right people. So wrestling is still very relationship based.
Yeah.
In the end, what we just make sure is consistent across the board is that when these guys and girls go overseas, they go there with the right, like no ego, and they go there open to learn. And I think this is where we sort of prepare them in advance of such trips.
Because in a lot of ways, they represent the brand, right? They represent Grapplemax having trained
And the
there.
country.
Yeah,
And Singapore too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Looking forward definitely to this one, the pre-show match. Okay, let's move on to the main, quote-unquote, main card then, and we have a Grapplemax Rising Championship. Ooh, three very unique, very interesting people vying for that title. Of course, we have the champion, Julian Cree, which, of course, we've talked a lot about already on this podcast. We love him. Ban and Sage Matthews. You guys love Sage Matthews. He keeps coming back.
I mean, the crowd loves him, so that's sort of what tells you that this guy's worth bringing back.
We love to hate him, I suppose.
Well, at the start, you guys loved him.
Yeah.
Then he kind of like became what was it, Dark Nick Carter or whatever you call him. Like,
No, what
I don't know what the term was.
Young said that
what
he
did
started off as a Backstreet Boys, and then somehow he became like a mullet Justin Bieber with the mustache.
Yeah, he just went down that dark path like the disgraced pop star.
Yeah, disgraced boy bender.
Yeah. But I think on this point, I just want to say, so I think Sage is such a great part, a great addition to our roster, and I think it really reflects the way that Grapplemax, like Dennis and I and the team, really looked at how we want to work with internationals, and we want to bring in people who, like, they may not be like the biggest stars around the world, but they're people who they have a point to prove. And they're very keen to work with us to build this philosophy of, I want to work with your guys and girls. I want to give them experience. I want to teach them how do we work triple threats, four ways, challenging situations where perhaps in Singapore, you may not have that experience as much at a high level.
I don't know if this story was told before, but how did you guys connect with Sage in the first place?
Oh, wow. Good question. Oh, yes. So Sage was working very closely with PWS Korea under Shiho. And if you recall, we have an MOU we signed with PWS Korea on an exchange.
Yes.
So I think then what happened was after we announced the MOU, Sage then reached out to Shiho to say, hey, could I maybe talk to Greg and see if there's a way to do something to start this connection going. So this was one of the first examples of the MOU paying off, where we're saying openly to the whole region and in fact the world to say, hey, we're looking for guys from Dubai, we're looking for guys from Korea, and we want to bring them here to advance both their careers and also give our guys that exposure. And this match, again, the Rising is all about showcasing up and coming, and we think this is something which we could simply not have done 4 or 5 years ago, but now is a great time to sell this narrative of what's the future of pro wrestling in Singapore.
Nice. And I talk about rising stars, right? I mean, of course, we really, wax lyrical about Julian, talk about his growth. And I think he has been a great champion last, almost a year. But talk to me about Bun as well, because Bun has gone through a couple of different iterations. This time last year, he was a part of a very dastardly heel tag team. Now he's back to being like this big baby face, looking like Liu Kang, with the, the whole outfit, and then now he has like kind of become fully formed. So talk to me about his growth as well.
Yeah, Ban's changed a lot. We've always looked at Ban as someone who could eventually be one of our top baby faces. He has the fire, he has a very unique look, and the fans are prepared to love him. But we also knew that we wanted to put him through a bit of a challenge. Right? Can you work heel? Can you work with Dave and take this to the other extreme and see how that works for you? So now he and Dave have, had the whole resolution at Fight Club 5. He put Dave through a few chairs, and then that was settled. He then turned good. Dave stayed bad. And I think this is really the start of, okay, where can Ban now take this fully formed kind of like face character to its next stage? He already faced Julian Creed once at WrestlePaga in a one-on-one title match, and then he lost via distraction by video promo, right? Which
Yes.
happens all the time. In pro wrestling.
Suddenly on the PA system, one Sage Matthews shows up. Then, what? Yeah.
Right. So that's how these things happen. So so I think this really sets up a really exciting three-way where all three men have a point to prove. Right. Sage is here to prove that he belongs on this roster, and the whole time and money and everything spent to be part of this is worth. The payoff is worth it for him. Ban is here to prove that he is going to be a top babyface moving forward, and he can take the belt and hold it to represent Grapplemax. And Julian, of course, for all the heel work he does, right? This guy is one of the hardest working wrestlers, not just in Singapore but the whole region. His work rate is beyond belief, and I think all three have a very strong case to take the belt, and this is why I think it's super exciting for fans to watch this particular match.
Nice. Maybe I can throw this question to both of you guys. It's only been 1 year since like the Rising Championship was introduced. I mean, barely a year. But reflecting on it now, how do you guys feel about this championship? How has it brought more value to Grapplemax? And what do you guys think about its future? Maybe Dennis?
So the Rising Belt, as you can tell, is a different championship where we're looking for different things, right? You have to establish stars vying after the open weight championship, but then for a guy like Julian, which a kick to the gut has been high on for a couple of years already, you get to see where we elevate the guys who are all about the work rate. The ones who have not really entered the consciousness of the upper card yet. So this serves that role. And also, right? Also, one really good thing is that the acronym GRC is something that we can sell to the PA.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh no. GST, GRC,
The
all the
secret is
acronyms.
out.
Okay. Got you. Okay, wait. I got a very interesting question.
Long-term storytelling. Yes.
Speaking of which, I think that ties into my next question. We've seen rising wrestlers, up and coming wrestlers vying for the title. We've seen Devon almost winning it. We've seen Julian carrying it. Could there be a scenario where we actually see an established veteran going into this title division to be the one that is like the proving ground? I'm just asking, for other wrestlers.
I don't know. Maybe. I think there probably is a story for it. I think the veteran has to have been away long enough to then make a case to say, hey, I'm back and I'm up and coming. Otherwise, again, it goes back to what is this particular title for, right? And it's to tell the fans, hey, look out for this guy, or girl, look out for this wrestler who is potentially the next big thing. Maybe not this year, right? But in the coming years, look out for this particular person. So it could be. I think up and coming is really such a relative term. So it's possible.
GRC Championship,
I love it. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Watch out for this one. This might be a sleeper. Okay, let's move on to the 6-man tag match now. And you brought up your dear old friend Dave earlier, Greg. After what happened at WrestlePaga, you heard the crowd. The crowd was chanting for it, right? This is the only time you'll ever hear a Singaporean crowd chant for GST. But
were they?
We were quite loud about it. I was there. I was one of the crowd as well.
No idea what you're talking about.
So it is Big Dave and LFG. Foreign, your favorite two veterans,
yes.
versus Endboss Gregory and Kelvin Lang and Christian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just say before you guys start talking about this match, right? I love that promo that you did with Dave, where you were asking him to be your partner.
Oh yeah.
Perfect cinema. That was
Thank
cinema
you,
for me.
thank you.
Who put that together, by the way?
I mean, as always, behind the camera is Remus, and Barn's been supporting us a lot as well. So again, it's such a team effort to really put these things together.
Yeah.
We know where we want to take the story, but I think I want to really highlight this match. Is really, you look at the people in this match, right? And I mean, this is probably the first time me and Dennis have faced off for quite some time as well, if I recall correctly. So we're in the same match, and I think it's so important to note that, you know, like there's like 5 extremely experienced guys in this. You've got Carl, former MBS champ. You've got obviously Dennis and myself, Dave. 3 of us, like the coaching team and the 2 of us co-founders, all in the open. This is the opening match. I'll tell you guys now. This is the opening match. So we're gonna open the show.
Wow.
And the thing here is, I think it's so powerful to show, hey, the 3 of us, right? We practically built this together, and we're at a point where there's no space for us on the main card. There's no space for us on like the big matches, right?
Yeah, that's why.
Right, so we're here to basically, this is a very fun 6-man opener with, you know, tons of experience. Then you've got Calvin Lang bringing a lot of that youth and that energy, and he's got this fantastic, you know, vertical leap drop kick. And I think it's such a great showcase of where the company is at. You know, put on these very fun, very light-hearted, you know, 6-man matches. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, when I'm thinking of how, like, you know, this takes a lot of inspiration from New Japan, where I feel like, you know, New Japan, there's this thing where when the veterans are already kind of like, you know, put in the time, they already are established names, then they work kind of like the undercut to kind of like lift up all these new guys just to get the rub for being in this 6-man with them. That must say a lot about what you guys think of Kelvin Lang and of course Christian as well. Talk to me about both their growths this year.
Yeah, well, I think Kelvin has obviously changed a lot, right, since coming back from Scotland, and I think that he sort of came back with a big increase in maturity, a big increase in understanding of how these high-profile matches are put together. Chris is, I wouldn't say he's particularly new. I mean, Chris is also actually very experienced in the roster by now. I think Dennis has been around for 5 years by now.
Pretty sure Christian is class of 2018, something like that.
Wow. Oh wow, yeah. Before COVID.
And you guys will recall he was also Wrestle Square cruiserweight champ
that's
as
right.
well.
Yes.
So he's been around quite a fair bit. But you're right, where he kind of straddles that veteran and maybe the newer guys between Dennis and Dave and myself and Carl, and then there's Chris. And I think it really is a case of like, okay, what does this combination of 6 very different personalities look like in the ring? Dennis, any thoughts about the match, since you and I are facing?
This is where the kayfabe begins.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
crush you, I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Oh no, TFSA,
Well,
bro.
you can try.
Talk to us about teaming with Big Dave. You know, obviously there's this underlying tone of will they, won't they when it comes to Greg and Dave, and then sort of you guys, Dennis, you and Cal, right? You're also there on one side. What can we expect in terms of, you know, the dynamics of the personalities? Again, you all have worked with each other, against each other, maybe, you know, for quite a while, haven't already, but tell us about the dynamics, all the relationships in this match alone.
I haven't actually worked with Christian before, I believe. This might be the first time.
Oh, wow.
Dave, I've tagged with him when we were wrestling in Malaysia. But it's just one of those things where we try not to book ourselves in the same match because we want to always spread the experience around the card so that someone can produce the match properly in each segment, right? So yeah, it'd be fun to have all these old guys coming back together to do one match.
What? The last time is now. Tournament.
Yeah, we'll all just retire after this match. We're done, guys.
Oh, no.
Sorry, it's a retirement match.
But you did bring up a very interesting point. The fact that this is going to be opening the event. This is one of your biggest shows, your 9th anniversary at Unity. Was that the thought behind it? Like having this kind of like, you guys kind of like doing the Undertaker Triple H hugging moment where like, okay, this is what you guys built. Let's start off the show.
Oh, don't expect a curtain call sort of situation. No,
Okay.
it's not that.
Okay.
It really is a case of you book to the stories you have, right? And you look at the card and there's so many compelling stories. I think Dennis raised a great point, which is we used to spread ourselves out across the card. And we are at a point now where as we talk through the rest of the card, you're going to see, wow, like every match has a so-called ring general. Every match has guys you can say go out there and have a banger. To the point where now the three of us jokers can sort of sit here and just have a very, like a very fun, very fun match, right? A very fun match, and sort of this is to set the stage for the rest of the show. Now you guys and girls go and tear the house down, and we think that's where we want our position to be especially for this particular show called Unity.
I love it. I mean, at this point in time, there's like almost 4 generations of Grapplemax wrestlers already at this point in time. I mean, talking about Devon and Nathaniel coming, it's 4G, right? 4G.
Progression. Love it. I love that you guys are, doing that and making that sort of a statement right off the bat. Let's move on to another match. Obviously, we don't know what the particular order is, so I'm just going to throw out these matches at random. Card subject to change. Grapplemax Tag Team Championship. The Gen Z versus Aussie.
Oi!
Okay, so the two boys, I mean, they're pretty much like, fresh from NWE, and then now suddenly they have this whole new look, whole new vibe, teaming up and, forming this group with Hotshot. Talk to us about their maturity and, well, I guess, fall from grace.
Brilliant name, by the way.
Yeah, Dennis, you want to go for
it? They have. You're right to say that, they came from an NWE. In fact, they were standout graduates of the NWE. For them, I would say, like, knowing them behind the scenes, right, as their coach, they are really humble, really nice guys. But that is exactly why you can coach them to become the character that they play, because they are so open and receptive to learning about how to work, learning about how to position their character. And that is the reason why they are such a breakout tag team that everyone's watching.
Was there any moment while you guys were working with them that you went, oh, you would be a very good, bad guy. You could be such a jerk, because seeing them do their thing now is really a 180 from what they've been.
Especially, especially Devon for me, his smiley baby face, and then now what he's doing now. Yeah,
well, I think speaking as creative, it's really about not so much about you are suited to be a heel or a face. It's more about what's your capability to just tune it to 11. And we knew these two were very huge personalities, and even in terms of the way that they look, right? We don't have that many sort of like bigger, like this kind of size guys on the roster. So we knew that however we play them, there would be some potential to really be a very memorable character, be it heel or face. And we just sort of felt like, in terms of where the story is going to go, this would be the most impactful way. Imagine, two kids coming out from the NWE roster, and now they're going to come up to the biggest match of their careers, going up against, the Aussie in a title match. And again, for us to trust these two kids, you go up there, and this is easily going to be a second half of the night match, right? Title matches will be at the end, so they're going to be very close to closing the show. Can they do it? Honestly, we don't know, right? But we think that we've prepared them to a point where this will tell the right story. And, this is really how we want to show this is what the brand's all about. Trusting these kids to go out there and just have a banger.
I mean, this is huge for them, right? This is literally their, third match on the quote-unquote main roster, and they're already in the title match. Can you imagine if they won the titles, and then you have Hotshot, and if he retains, then you have an entire faction with all the gold?
Yep, we could. I mean, that's what we want you guys to sort of speculate over.
Right, that's a hell of a way to end 2025. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, and again, we write to where the story goes, and we realize that this is a very compelling way to build each of these matches up, and the fact that they are so new out of NWE makes that story even more compelling. Like, could they really do it? Would they really book this to make that happen? And I think that drama makes it much more exciting. And
I mean, this time last week.
Sorry, the other side of the drama is that Aussie have also been holding the titles for a while.
Yes.
So it starts to cook, that speculation starts like, oh man, like, is it time to have a new champion? But well, they got Coach Sean in there with them in the mix. So expect some quality from this one. I'm looking forward to this match.
Yeah. Oh, and you talk about Sean being a coach. Like, how has that been? Because historically, it's like usually you have Dave, Greg, and then like now you guys have more people kind in the coaching side of things. How's that been for him?
Sean brings a very different perspective to our training, which I like a lot because you don't want to be so one style and one dimensional where when you have the same coach over and over and over again. So Sean does bring that. I had a really good time with him in the Fight Club. Not Fight Club, sorry. I mean Slam and Saver. And working with him directly, I was like, oh wow, this guy has really grown quite a lot.
Yeah.
When I was listening to the way he was booking the match. I thought it was a moment for me where I realized, oh, Sean has actually reached another level.
Awesome. And also, of course, the tag team championships itself, right? Like, we've seen a couple of teams holding the titles at this point in time. How do you think Aussie's legacy is going to be remembered? Because, I mean, they are multi-time champions and they're the first to do so.
Yeah, I think as the first champs, that will always set the tone for how prestigious the titles can be. I think their first run was cut short, but I think now they're on a second run. I think they really have a huge point to prove that they're here to stay for the long run. Also want to really give a shout out to Pinball YC, right? I think he is a huge dynamo to sort of like keep the energy of this team moving forward. I think Sean brings a very unique style to how he wrestles. YC really brings that like unbridled energy to this particular team, and I think that combination in wrestling is like someone who has done tag team wrestling for a long time. That combination is so hard to capture, so we kind of want to make sure that stays for a very, very long time as well.
Nice. I'm glad you mentioned YC's nickname because I think this is the first time I saw them have nicknames. Was it at WrestlePaga? Did they come up with it
very
before?
recent thing.
Yeah.
So, before Paga.
Oh, okay.
A few months ago.
Right. So YC's Pinball. What was Sean's tag?
The Pillar.
The Pillar. Yes. Where did those like nicknames come from?
Where
I
it
guess you
came
gotta
from?
invite them.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ask them.
He does look like a pillar, I must say.
What the heck?
Speaking of which, Faiz is on the...
He's foundational. He's a pillar of the community.
That's why. Faiz is on the chat and he says, hands down, a great coach. Good reviews on chat group.
There you go.
Nice.
Prodigal Geek says Greg and Dennis have not faced each other in a match since 2017 at Singapore Night Festival. There you go. Someone with the history.
With Togo. Yeah, with Togo.
Oh shit, is that
Togo.
true? Is that true, guys? Wow.
I think he probably gave me
I think that's right.
8 years ago.
The only other one, which was
Singlet. The other one was Singlet. Singlet body.
I was just thinking of Singlet.
Okay.
You gave me a rock ball.
Mine was a short spot.
Okay, because Singlet not canon lah, maybe that's why.
Everything is canon. We're talking about.
Yeah.
All canon.
Everything is canon, huh?
Including this podcast right now.
Including Greg being a saman auntie. That's also canon.
Oh wow.
Of course.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about some of the guests from overseas that you guys are bringing in for this show as well. Since we're on the tag team topic, let's talk about Heaven and Earth versus Arcade Violence. This is for the ICW Tag Team Championship. Okay, we know Heaven and Earth. We talked about them quite a bit, but tell us a little bit more about Arcade Violence and actually ICW. Where is that based?
Wait, is that ICW Insane Championship Wrestling ICW?
Yes.
Oh, holy
like Drew Galloway first champ.
Scotland.
ICW. Yes.
Oh my god! Wow. Okay. This is big then. This is super big.
It's first time that these have been defended in Singapore, obviously, or I believe in Asia for that matter. They're currently in Canada. I think they just defended the titles there maybe yesterday. So they are currently on the world tour. And yes, this is in fact that ICW. So it's a huge privilege and honor for us to be hosting them and let alone their champions on our show.
Nice.
And very much we do have to thank Kelvin, right, for opening this door for us. And I think he went there and he left such a strong impression on the roster and the coaching staff, and he said, hey, like this is a good kid. He must have come from a good place. And I think once that happened, we began to have conversations with them to say, hey, can we maybe do some kind of exchange, and we want to sort of let people know in Singapore and Asia that there is this ICW, this is the history, and we want to educate new audiences about what we do as well. So that's how this really started.
Great. Tell us about them, like this Arcane Violence, their styles, Who
Yeah.
are both of them?
Yeah, so Jake Lawless and Brody Turnbull. So these two are very different styles. So actually very similar to actually myself and Dave, I guess, way back when. Whereas smaller build and a big guy. So this is actually their second title run. So they just won it back in a gauntlet match a couple of weeks back. So even then, when we first booked the match, we weren't even sure if they'll still be champions by the time we announced it. And so we're pretty glad that they won it back. And the whole idea was they really wanted to face like one of our best tag teams on this particular card when we spoke about this. And we said, yeah, we got quite a few. Unfortunately, two of our best are already used up in this, but we have a really amazing tag team, right? Who have always come close to tag team gold, kind of like brimming under the surface. I mean, this is heaven and earth, right? And these two are, I think you've seen from the last few shows, they are incredibly over.
Yes.
Fight thing, yeah.
Yeah, right. And the moment they emerge, they now got matching gear. They've now got they've combined their music together, and they really have kind of solidified yet another flavor of tag team here in Grapplemax. And I think that's why it's so cool to then put these two up in what is going to be easily their biggest international match ever, right? For the ICW tag titles. It doesn't get bigger than that. This is how massive this match is for them.
And they certainly deserve a title shot. Lavin actually came up to me after Wrestle Parker and said, every time we've come close, we've been screwed out of a win. Like some shenanigans will happen, we get screwed out of a win. So they definitely have something to prove. This heaven and earth.
Wow. Yeah. And I must say as well, like not only the fan support has been great, I think just visually they kind of like they are now in lockstep, like how they present themselves, how they enter the ring, even that whole pose that they do at the corner, heaven, earth, like it's just missing the brand sponsorship from Ice Lemon Tea, I think. Make it perfect.
Which I think they've rebranded as in Heaven and Earth, so there's no more Heaven and Earth also.
Yeah,
no.
There's no more of that brand anymore.
So the spot is open
We've lost that. But yeah, I think those two are really great. Even just this weekend over training, they were talking, how can we, differentiate our styles even more? How can we go even further down this Heaven Earth concept? So, all the kids here are so dedicated to improving their craft and how they present themselves. And I think again, this is such a great showcase for them on such a big stage.
What change did you see in Lavin, his time away? Like he went away to Japan for a bit, right, to train. Did you see any change that was quite significant, or what did he bring back, basically?
Dennis, you want to take that?
I would say one thing that really added value, and not in terms of like his athletic performance in ring, was the operational element that he can take control of when it comes to like ring building, when it comes to like logistics. Because obviously he has to get really involved with a lot of the these tasks in Japan, right? So I would say like he stepped up a lot when it comes to logistics side of things, and frankly, this is the kind of development that you can't teach. They have to go find it themselves and get the experience themselves.
That is so cool. You don't really think about that. You go to Japan, you learn how to set up a ring that's really good. That's really cool. And also one more thing I wanted to ask about the tag team as well, right? Like when you guys first thought of putting them together to where they are now, like what was the biggest change that you guys see in terms of how they both communicate as well?
Dennis, you're good since you're
because communication is an issue for Simon because he speaks mostly Mandarin, and Lavin, come on, I mean, like he probably can get by ordering chicken rice and asking for a few things, but communicating match in Chinese, that's gonna be really difficult, right? So for these two, it's kind of endearing how they've done it. A lot of I mean, Simon can understand English, but when he struggles to speak a bit sometimes. And you can also see that you also can see the way they do their promos nowadays. Simon is just like, don't talk, just fight, right? Like Lavin does the intro, Simon just don't talk, just fight, but it works. So this is the kind of chemistry I find. Don't let your weakness define you, right? Like you should find a way to repackage it and then become into something that's unique to yourself. And in this case, it's one-liner, don't talk, just fight. And Lavin can do the rest of the mic work to carry.
I love it. I mean, we are all here big fans of Lavin as well. They've been very supportive of the podcast, and I think Simon's growth from like not being confident in like cutting promos in English to like kind of owning that, and then making that his tagline, I think that's like brilliant lah. Yeah, for sure, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Let's talk about the other international guests that you're going to have at Unity. Marika Kobashi. Well, I mean, technically, Divya is also an international guest lah. But yes, talk to us a little bit more about Marika Kobashi for those of us who have not watched her wrestle before.
Yeah, I think Marika previously was with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrest under
Nice.
DDT in Japan. So I think when she reached out about working with us, we thought it's a great chance to really give Divya a very different sort of international competition. I think Divya, I would probably beg to differ, where I don't think she's an international guest anymore. I get your point, but I think she's very much part of the team. She runs our women's training on a weekly basis. She's very much as much Grapplemax roster member as anybody else. And I think this is a really great chance to show off a very different kind of styles in wrestling. Divya, as we all know, is very, very dominating powerhouse and a bit of the whole like baddest bitch kind of aura about her. But I think Marika comes from a very, I believe in Japanese they call it what, gyao? Is that gyao? It's like a gyao girl.
What
like
is
the Shibuya girl, very tan, blonde hair, sort of like that's her character. So her theme song is called like Gyao is Here. So I figured that you guys might know what that meant, because I'm not sure myself.
What does that mean? Excuse me. What kind of assumptions are you making of us?
That is not my category. Sorry.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
okay. Well, I wasn't even okay. But anyway, so I think she sort of brings like her own version of like sass is what I'm trying to say.
I see.
So I think this is where two very different styles of sass coming together. Marika just worked, I believe, the show with MyPW just last night with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrest over there.
Oh yes, they had a show,
KLP,
right?
Yeah, KLP
Nice.
48, if I get my numbers correct.
Very quickly, chat have come in clutch. Gyaru is apparently the term. They're like
Gyaru.
Is that how you
Come
pronounce
on.
it?
Give
Wait.
Uncle Greg a break, come on.
Okay, question: can I Google it, or should I turn on my private chat when I do it?
Wait. Naswan
Ask chat,
says,
ask chat.
Yeah, screen it, Google it.
Naswan
Google it,
says foreign's category is Bukit Batok massage therapist. That was from last week's podcast. By the way.
That's a story. Oh, okay. Gyaru is a
BBMT.
Japanese fashion subculture known for its extravagant and westernized aesthetic. Interesting.
Yes, with the
Okay.
tan and then the blonde hair. Okay, we see it now. We see it now.
Yeah. So again, I think a lot of attitude in this particular match. America's got a really sick, like top rope, like drop kicks and crossbodies. So I think such a fantastic clash of styles in this particular match, and I think a very fresh women's matchup for a Grapplemax show.
Yeah. Honestly, when I first saw her and she had that whole winter wear on her head, I thought she was like Russian Japanese for some reason, but she is a fully Japanese wrestler, I'm assuming.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Nice. We're definitely looking forward to that one. As I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to the Thunderwear match. I don't know why I just got so excited talking about this one. I saw the promo on Instagram. I literally laughed out loud. I might have had water spurt out of my mouth. Only thing spurting out of my orifices. But we're talking...
Okay, Mr. Yang.
First of all, talk to us about Jin Kai and when did this new photo shoot take place? I asked Nashwan and so, hey, is there a new photo shoot? Why is he all of a sudden dressed in a suit with is he wearing gloves? What is going on here?
You know what he looks like? He looked like the K-pop demon hunter, the evil
The
boy band
Sanja
one.
Boys. He looks like one of the Sanja Boys now.
Sanja Boys.
So
Okay,
are we
cool.
finally leaning into his oppa-ness? Is it finally happening?
First strap match?
What first rap match?
According to
Chat says.
Faiz. Yeah.
Not wrong.
Yeah,
Not wrong.
what is going on with Jin Kai, first of all?
Well, I think it's a natural progression from even the name change to Zinkai, right? And as you mentioned with Pinball, with the Pillar, it's really about how can we really double down on character work. I do think that Zinkai's photo, which I'm now looking at in close up, is it's a very new look for him.
Yeah.
I think it's a work in progress. And I think you're gonna see more of this development moving forward. And like Dennis said, get him on your show too and ask him more about this.
Yes,
It's
I
a work
would.
in progress.
I would love to pick his brain to see where his character is now, because to be fair, right, in the past couple of months as well, we've been like, okay, Jin Kai, he had his rebrand, he's been in a couple of things here and there, but where is he exactly? Now this, to me, seems like a very definite, all right, this is something new, a new side of Jin Kai. Like, even just looking at the photo, right, you can tell it's more Photoshop than D. I mean, there's something.
No, he just naturally looks this way. What are you
Oh,
talking
he's
about?
such a beautiful
okay.
man.
Of
No.
course he is.
There's
that's young
definitely
skeptic.
something to that. But okay, let's talk about this match, the Thunderwear match. Of course, we know that Thunderwear, they were at Slam and Saver as well, right? One of your partners there.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the evolution of this partnership to where now you actually have a Thunderwear match, and what exactly is a Thunderwear match?
Okay, so I'll take the how this partnership came about. So so when we first approached Thunderwear, we met them at Pink Fest is how this started. So we did Pink Fest back in June.
Yes.
And again, it's really all about how can we find all these connections where people didn't foresee pro wrestling to reach out before, and this is where this starts to pay off. So this was easily a project that was something like 5 months in the making. That's why it's so exciting. So we met at Pink Fest and we said, hey, we want to bring you guys in, and they wanted to work with us because they felt that wrestling is such a great fit for their style of underwear, which is very loud, very brash, very different from what a typical underwear brand was. So we saw some synergy there, and we invited them to be one of our booths at Slam and Saver.
Yeah.
And I think once that happened and they saw firsthand the type of audience we drew and how it wasn't just, hardcore like older wrestling fans, but also kids and families. And I think that really got the two founders really interested to say, can we sort of take this partnership to the next level? And then putting the whole story together, looking at what we did with the Hunkles, really sort of hammered home the point that, wow, there's so many ways to incorporate brands or angles or stories that could sell some other brand into a wrestling show. And then we began talking, and then over a few weeks we said, hey, we can actually incorporate your underwear into a match. And then the payoff is that the co-founder of Thunderwear, Luigi, is now going to become the special guest referee.
Yes.
It's for him a life, because he's Canadian. So for him, he told me, bro, you are helping me live my lifelong dream to
nice.
be in a wrestling ring. So this guy is like, he's a huge wrestling fan. His whole family's a wrestling fan.
Love it.
And we're just giving all these experiences across the board to just get involved in pro wrestling. And this is how this match came about.
If you guys haven't watched the promo for this, please go and watch it. It's hilarious. D being in this match obviously was on purpose, right? Like, it's D in an underwear
Let me ask
match.
you, when was the last time you saw D?
Yeah, it's been a while. So I love the guy. Can't wait to see him back in the ring, right? But to be honest though, when I saw the poster before I saw the actual promo, I thought they were gonna wrestle like in Thunderwear. I was like, ooh, that's very interesting. They're not going to, right?
We've never clarified that question.
I mean, it's very like you said, like it's very brash, it's very loud sort of underwear, but it is very thin. I know this because just the other day, my wife and I, we were at Tangling Mall, and then we actually passed by one of their pop-ups, and then we go and feel the material. I'm like, this is super like comfortable, right? So I'm like,
Wait, Young, do you buy it?
Huh? No lah, not yet lah. Maybe next time. Maybe at Unity. I'm sure.
Let me
they'll have
pass you a
booth there.
promo code.
Yes, please pass me some promo codes.
Come on, Mr. Young. You know what I did? Slam and Saver on the day itself. I talked to Luigi and I was so won over. I bought 3 pairs, bro.
Bro,
3 pairs.
talk to me. How has your junk felt?
It has been loud and wild, bro. I just gotta say.
No, I'm talking about the cooling material. Very cooling or not? Because when I touched it with my fingers and my hand, it felt cooling.
Yeah.
Not on you. I'm talking about at the booth.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm not wearing it right now, but you know what? I can pull it out and show you on the podcast right now if
It's
you want.
okay.
Don't pull it out. Don't pull it out.
Oh,
Don't pull
okay,
it out.
sure,
It's okay. Keep it in there.
Sure. All good. Right. Yeah, and then we fine. Okay, so Luigi's gonna be the special guest ref.
Yes.
The stipulation or how they're gonna be dressed is still a bit vague.
We'll leave that to the show itself. I think we don't want to reveal everything. They might, but we'll see how this goes. And then the winner wins. So they were fighting over the last pair of Thunderwear at
At the
their
store.
retail partner supporting Eve, was this store in Cluny Court.
Yes.
And then Luigi says, hey guys, don't fight here, right? Take it to Unity. We're going to give you guys a lifetime supply of Thunderwear. So that's what's at stake. Lifetime supply of Thunderwear. So this is what the match is really going to be about.
Can I ask, will there be a Thunderwear pop-up booth there? Because you know what? Okay, great.
Okay, there you go. That's where
Next
I
time-
get my Thunderwear.
Time to top up, bro. I mean, for me lah, but for you, you buy a new one. For me to top up,
there you
yes.
go. Hey, could this be like Jin Kai's next character development where he suddenly becomes an underwear model? You never know, huh?
Gotta wait and see.
I see.
Yeah,
Getting
so very,
the
Yeah,
Getting
so
the
very
female
excited
audience,
for this
yeah.
match. Yes, definitely. So in
There
fact,
you go.
some fans told us that they managed to get a whole bunch of their, and I quote, their OL friends to buy because they saw Jin Kai and Thunderwear, and then they bought like straight away one whole bunch of tickets.
So, sorry, maybe I'm dumb. What is OL?
Oh,
Office lady.
You don't know Gyaru, you don't know OL, you do what, yeah?
I told already.
You do
I told
what,
already.
sia?
I say already, not my category. You all
Hashtag you do
understand.
what, sia. There you go. Now, LK has one on you. You do what, sia?
Zayden said the Red Bull is definitely kicking in, lol. There you go. My second one. I'm on my second can right now.
I love it when sponsorships can take on this sort of fun element, and that's the beauty of pro wrestling, isn't it? It doesn't have to be this serious, like, oh, by the way, this match is brought to you by Thunderwear, and then blah blah blah, blah, you read out a bunch of shit. No, it actually can take on, like, depends on your creativity, right?
yes.
Yeah, definitely no Slim Jim tables needed.
Oh, God.
How do you guys feel about like your sponsors that's joined you this year? Because like you guys have been building up to some new sponsors, and if I'm not wrong, you guys now have a sponsorship with Get Go. Is that true? Can you tell me more about how that happened?
Well, I think it's very meaningful, right? Because we want to kind of sell this idea that you should come together with your friends and carpool and drive down. So they're sponsoring us and they're giving us a promo code for all our ticket buyers to enjoy a discount off the time charge on the day itself. So that's the idea. So they actually came down for Slam and Savor.
Oh, they were.
Their office is nearby because in One North. I think Dennis knows them too. So basically, they came down and said, "Hey, we really love what you guys are doing. Can we find some way to support you further?" And so that's really how it happened. I think it's really it's really again a case of how do we keep getting more and more new eyeballs on what we do, and then once it comes in, how fast can we activate something that kind of gives value both ways?
Yeah. I don't know if this is a boring question, but I'm very interested in it. Like for finding corporate sponsorship for you guys, like is that something that's all you guys are always on the lookout for, or like how organic is it, or how strategic is it that you guys plan?
Oh, we're always looking out for sponsors, right? Because in the end, it's a bottom line game. We do have to pay the bills, but it's also a case of we are looking for sponsors with whom there is some proper synergy. Right? So Thunderwear is a great example where it's just so unique, and it kind of fits what we're selling. Get Go makes a lot of sense because it's something which is a service to our fans and our community. Wrestling Card Space, another one who is the Singapore's biggest wrestling trading card community, is coming back again for Unity. You last saw them at the Slam and Savor.
Yes.
They're coming back again, and I think again it's a case of, they go to trading card shows and there's a whole range of card fanatics, right? Pokemon and on and so forth. But then at our events is pure absolute just, hey, it's wrestling fans. And I think that was something where it just made sense for everyone. It's about bringing the community together and having another value add to them through Wrestling Card Space.
I love it as well. And somebody on the chat, Alfred says, can we have chairs with the IKEA logo stamp on it in the match as well?
Can.
Potential sponsor, guys.
Yeah, as long as they pay up lah.
Can. No question, can be done.
Okay, let's talk about this main event now. And
all right, let's go.
I would love to pick your brains about like the development and maturity of these two. We've seen them go through quite a lot. Of course, we're talking about the Grapplemax Openweight Championship, Hotshot the champion versus SPD. LK, you want to start us off on this one?
Yeah, sure. A very good line that Hotshot said, when I was wrestling with SPD and he was still, there was this arc where I was doing a few matches with SPD.
Yes.
And a very good line that Hotshot told me, he commented, he said, every Batman needs a Joker. If you don't have that Joker, you don't have that babyface power, right? And so part of that story building up to that was I had to go antagonize him, and then he did his whole comeuppance at Fight Club 5, and then that moved him on to the next part of the story for his career, and which is now to go into the title picture, right? So everyone had to play a role in going to this main event. So that was the SPD event, and then for Hotshot, you've seen the last couple of episodes where he's starting this Hotshot is starting to bite the hand that feeds him, blah blah blah. Now you see the stern look on Greg's face now. Yeah. All right. So like this main event doesn't just happen overnight. Okay, let's do an exhibition match and call it a main event. it was something that has been leading up for many months from both characters' tracks, and now they collide at the main event.
And also like the most interesting thing I wanted to say about this match is the fact that you guys have two homegrown wrestlers, you know, with like all these long story arcs between them. They weren't the OG per se. Maybe they came in maybe a generation after you guys, but the fact that they are strong enough to kind of lead and headline this main event, like what does that speak about you guys? You know, maybe as coaches and also seeing their careers blossom on, all the way until now.
Yeah, again, it's very meaningful where you don't need any of like the OG guys to be in the main to ensure that the main can in fact be main event quality, right? Like these two are again, they have carried the brand for years and years. Hotshot has been champ for, I believe it's coming to, it's 2 years now. So
2 years.
yeah, of course, it's the seventh. So 2 years now. SPD himself has built his brand, right? So after he joined us, he kind of reinvented his game, his brand. He's now like a massive star. I would say one of the biggest stars in Singapore wrestling today. He's super incredibly over.
Over.
And he went to the Philippines, and over there he's a big star. They're all chanting SPD.
Nice.
And I think it's just so great to see that, again, you don't have to rely on like big stars from overseas. You can build this type of angles locally if you invest in them and you show the fans that the promotion, the company is getting behind these guys, right? And we will take the risk, right? There's every chance that we won't sell out the house, but we're going to take the risk to show that, no, we are backing these two guys. We're backing these 20 guys and girls to put the card forward. And I think this is why this match means so much to us. And I think storyline, both guys have such a strong reason to win the belt. SPD wins, right? This is where the company goes for 2026. Hotshot wins or retains, then this is where he's now got DGen Z behind his him. That's a whole different story as well. And I think both results are so exciting and compelling that we could not have built this with, say, international guest wrestlers, because everyone is here. Everyone here is practically like full-time part of the story. So we know where to build for this year, and we know where we can build once we trigger this particular result.
That's definitely. I love that you brought that up because that was the exact thought in my mind. You know, Forward, you've often brought up like Hotshot when he finally turned heel, when he answered the question, "Are you a heel?" When that moment happened, it felt like a fresh new title run, even though he's held that title for quite a while already, right? So, like in this scenario, you're like, okay, you know, SPD is clearly on the rise. It's his time now. But then, like, Hotshot has also got this fresh new fire as being the leader of a brand new heel stable. Imagine him going into next year with DGen Z carrying all the titles. Like, that would be one story. But then SPD winning the title could be another great way to start 2026. So the best type of stories are the stories that you have no idea where this is going to go.
Maybe you guys can indulge me a bit because you know, we've seen SPD chasing the title, I would say almost 2 years, because last year he was really part of the title mix. The crowd was really organically cheering for him, and then the fact that, you know, he went through all the trials and tribulations from Showtime to being on his own and all the way until now. And then, like I mentioned, like what Young mentioned, the fact that we are almost seeing like a new breath of life for you know, Wilson's title reign. You know, for some time he was doing well as a babyface, but wasn't really getting the kind of feuds that I personally wanted him to be part of. And then now that when he turned heel, it's almost like CM Punk in 2012, right? He turned heel halfway through his title run. So with all that story and all that in mind, right? Like, do you guys think about like alternate realities of like, okay, scenario one, you know, Hotshot retains DGen Z. Is that the bigger story? Or, you know, scenario two, SPD? Or are you guys gonna like, you know what, let's just
Secret timeline. Follow the secret timeline. Is it to borrow a Marvel reference?
Correct. You can just follow.
It's all decisions you run with, right? And you know, as with all things in life, you really don't, like, you can make a good decision in the moment, but it may not be the right decision in the long run. And we simply don't know, right? All we know is that we make sure that everything that has led up to this point makes some kind of sense. Like if you dig enough into the lore, you can kind of explain retroactively, this is how we got here.
Yeah.
So I think as long as it's logical, you don't necessarily have to be so obsessed over like what is the right answer. Yeah, there's so many versions, right?
Yeah.
Shot wins, SPD wins, or whatever happens.
Yeah.
We just don't know, right? We pick what makes the most sense, and we hope we made the right call.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is where feedback from you guys, from the audience, this is what really matters to us, because that's how we know that we're building this in the right direction.
Yeah, Zayden L on the chat says definitely a tough one to predict. If I can say something very interesting, you know what this whole match reminds me of?
What?
Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 39.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, the one where Roman Reigns retained and everyone was like, "What? Why you never put the 1 year chase?"
It feels like such a foregone conclusion that it should be SPD.
Yeah.
But like maybe dragging it out would make this moment a bit sweeter. I know I don't want you guys to sell it. Just no sell my whatever I just said. But I'm just saying that the story is so huge that I feel it can spend multiple years. He had spent multiple years.
But it's a great spot to be in, right? That you can afford to do something like this and have people question it.
Yeah. Right, just keep speculating, because that's great for us too.
Yes.
Of course.
I have no issues with that whatsoever. And we know where we're building. We just hope we made the right call, and if we didn't, we'll just course correct, and that's fine too.
Nice. Okay, maybe I ask this question to Dennis as well. For whatever you guys gonna do, or whatever you guys gonna execute at this anniversary show, do you guys also plan? I know you guys do plan ahead, so it's a dumb question, but do you guys also have like any sort of decision making that comes into like what comes out immediately after this show that will impact the rest of or the start of 2026? Do you guys think about that?
So I guess what Foreign is asking is, Nashran, where is the timeline poster? I'm calling you out, Nashran. Where's the timeline poster? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Maybe Dennis can answer this.
There's always a rough idea, right? I mean, of course, it's subject to a lot of different things, like an individual's availability on a particular event, or if the guy is not around. And let's say Carl is not around, okay, then I do a singles match, right? But even though we have an LFG story going, right? So this is always the case. If we look at the ingredients that we have available, then we cook up something, but we already have an idea of what kind of shit we want to serve. But we can't cook until we got the ingredients, right? So you always got to be flexible enough to accommodate for that. But at the same time, you cannot just go into the future without any direction. It just would be disaster.
Okay, so whatever that we see this Saturday will definitely play a lot of part into 2026. Yeah, Greg?
Well, it's not random, right? So we think I think the Thunderwear match has got massive stakes over it. Like a lifetime supply, okay? Don't mess with that.
That could be a whole lifetime storyline, bro.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll happily take that. But I think just to answer the question about Najong, where is the timeline poster? Number one, let's not stress him out anymore. I think
poor guy, yeah.
but I think number two, I think another factor which we haven't mentioned is also the locations where we want to run the shows.
Yes.
I think the last 6 months have been extremely pivotal for us in terms of where we've taken the brand, which has now opened up, without spoiling anything, a lot more doors for us to peer into in the next 12 months. And I think a lot of those are because of the scale of the projects. They require a much longer time for us to sort of get the right types of approvals or budgets and stuff like that. So we know where we want to go, but I think it's very different from even 12 months back, where we could say, oh, here's Amplify, here's NWE, here's whatever, right? Because now we're playing with a lot of stakeholders. We're talking about different locations, sponsors. So I think you're going to see the model change again, like we always do.
Nice.
But I think once we lock everything down, then you will hopefully by then see our next MCU calendar show up.
What, if anything, can you divulge for 2026? Or is it very much a just pay attention to 2025 first situation?
I think the one thing I can say is that we definitely are pursuing the CC tour very, very actively. So again, for all the fans who are tuning in, if you want to see us bring this to your area, easiest way, go tag your MP. This is how Tanjong Pagar happened, right? Just tell your MP, they know about us now, but they
Yeah.
need to know that the residents want this to happen there.
Mm.
So go out there, like make us the most annoying promotion in Singapore. Go and tag everyone. Hey, bring Grapplemax here. Bring the Jurong West. Bring everywhere. Just make this happen. This is a big part of what we want to do for the next 2 years. So
Love it.
I think this is one part and we already have a few of these in process now, and these are what we're trying to kind of tie down in the next few months.
Nice.
Okay, it's time to find out who your MP is and write some emails, tag some people on Instagram. Toa Payoh West, I'm looking at you.
Nice. My MP is fine because literally I can walk over to like Jalan Besar and your Fuchao building, so it's all good. Okay, maybe one last thing you guys can leave this with. For those who have never seen a Grapplemax show, and maybe this is the first time they're gonna be watching, and they're gonna be watching it at Fuchao building, your 9th anniversary, so it's pretty crazy. What can you, somebody new coming in to watch maybe pro wrestling or Grapplemax expect from this Saturday?
What can they expect this Saturday? I would say be prepared to sing along to MCR.
Yes.
I would say get your cameras out to take pictures of abs. I would say be ready to boo the heels. I mean, like it's an experience for the whole family to go out and have fun, right? It's not just a wrestling event. It is a social event, right? It's a community event. Like it just happens to be in the form of a bunch of guys fighting inside the ring. You know, two girls going at it, and just with the pre-show, we have the main card show for the women's matches. It's just something that you just gotta be there to understand what this hype is all about. I mean, Mothership's reel as well as Straits Times coverage, Taopao's coverage did a lot of work for us, and people are
that's great.
curious. Well, go find out what their curiosity is going to lead you to. I mean, you just got to be there to understand.
Love it, love it.
Yeah, and I think people who come to our shows, I think they always say, "Wow, you guys really got a very strong community," right? And I think we're really doubling down on that feeling for unity. So already we've announced Wrestling Card Space, Thunderwear, all of our partners who are being involved. Again, these are all repeat partners. Kebab Bai, which is run by Grapplemax alum Guru, right? So Kebab Bai is going to be providing our food.
Oh, yes.
There is going to be alcohol all night as well. We're also working with local artists, right? So we're working with a local artist called Falling Feathers. So he is in fact doing our Unity theme.
Oh,
wow.
So we're releasing that. It's an existing song, but we're sort of repurposing it for what we need. So he's been
Nice.
super generous in helping us make this happen. And we'll be publishing that hopefully in the next few days. Our volunteer team, I Am Volunteers, who have been helping us with things like manpower for the last few events. They also have a percussion group, like a live percussion, like a wicked aura kind of style.
Batukara, yeah.
nice.
So they'll be doing a performance for us as part of the programming as well. So it really is about how can we create this entire community vibe that is built around pro wrestling, but not necessarily just about pro wrestling. And we want people to take away, oh, that's what the Grapplemax show feels like.
Nice.
I think
Some
that's the big-
spectacle.
Yeah, spectacle, but also just that warm community vibes, which everyone seems to gather from our shows.
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
Very, very exciting stuff.
There you go. Guys, thank you so much for sharing. I mean, we're definitely looking forward to the end of the year, Unity, and of course, whatever is ahead for 2026. I guess before we let you guys go, is there anything you want to put out there in the universe right now as it relates to not just Grapplemax, Unity, but also in general in pro wrestling, you know, in Singapore pro wrestling?
Remember, we are live. We are live. live on YouTube.
Yeah, LK, you first.
All right. One thing I wanted to say was to the point where you guys were commenting just now that, hey, this is the chance to push our own local guys to occupy the main event spot. To me, this is a definition of success, right? When you run a wrestling school, this is a definition of success. A co-founder or promoter should not be so insecure that they do not allow anyone else to have the main spotlight. This is something that is, you know, it defines the way we have run Grapplemax for the last 9 years. And it's one of the reasons why we call this show Unity. We could have called this show any other random macho aggro name, but we called it Unity precisely because of the community, because of the way the effort was something that's been combined for years that has led to this result that we have today. So I'm really looking forward to this show. It's the last one to end the year with a bang. Hope to see you guys there.
we'll definitely be there.
Yes. Greg, what about you?
Well, how do I follow that? No, I just really honestly just thanks to all the fans, our partners, our community for taking this far. I think when we first spoke about this, 9 years ago, right, in that coffee place in Millennial Walk, right, it was really just a very
Wow.
small idea of, can we even start, another promotion with no ring, no support, and sort of see where this goes. And to see the four of us in this call again having the same conversation but completely different dynamics,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
both like our brand, your brand, sort of coming so far, it really sort of reflects how much the community has come together to promote pro wrestling in a country which is just not well known for entertainment or sports, but we're somehow pushing forward this whole sports entertainment agenda in Singapore, and it really could not have been done without the help of everyone in the community involved, whether it's Grapplemax or elsewhere. I think that's super important for us to take away. So really hope to see all of you there. I can't wait for my break after the show because I'm completely done. But I think,
for the year.
again, everyone is putting so much effort into this. There might be a secret surprise show in December. We'll see how that happens. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay, Greg.
We'll see. We'll announce it soon. But anyway, again, thanks to everyone, and do come down. Support for this show really shows us that we're going in the right direction. You like what you see, and you want to see more of what we're building. So this is again a massive swing for us, but we do need your support to show that this is where you want us to go.
Nice.
There you go.
And you talk about that Millennial Walk coffee. It's suddenly giving me flashbacks from the first time the three of us met
Yes.
for that coffee, right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy because you guys talk about community, and I think this is a big thing for me and Young as well because I think we are right behind you. We are on our 8th season, and
Congrats.
yeah, and the crazy thing is like I think this year for us was a bit of a crazy year for both of our personal lives. But I think what kept us going was actually the community. The community is living on its own,
Yeah.
without needing us to kind of like enforce it or cultivate it.
Enforce it. You know what we mean. Yes.
Yeah. So like I think I can see a lot of parallels with Grapplemax as well. Like even when you guys are going through your struggles, like it's the community that kind of brings you guys out or give you guys the motivation and the purpose to carry on. And I really wish the best for you guys for Unity and like beyond, man. 10 years from now, let's go. We still have this conversation.
That's
right
right.
before.
Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Grapplemax.sg/Unity2025. Get your tickets if you haven't already. 22nd of November. Doors open at 5:30. Come early. Chat with your fellow wrestling fans and friends and whatnot, and let's just have a great time. I mean, it's a Saturday after all. What else are you gonna do, right? Go watch some wrestling.
Yeah, man. Yeah, me and Young will be there for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Greg, thank you so very much. Crypto Bro, thank you so very much for your time. We really, really appreciate y'all spending your Sunday evening with us.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to see you all there.
As always, it is Mr. Young.
And it's forward in the building. Take care.